The mass line, a familiar yet foreign word, visible in all corners of your daily life. Here, 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 and here. But you probably don't have any idea what it means. Look, here's the explanation. Why does it seem so reasonable yet so empty? Is there something wrong with my IQ? Don't worry, many people react the same way. If you want to easily understand what the mass line is, then maybe we should start with one of its precise practices: mass mobilization. There are three methods of governing the society of a nation: force, trade, and mobilization. In the use of restrictions to resolve the issue of traffic congestion, there's no room for discussion. This is the force model. The use of market mechanisms to compensate relocatees in the transformation of a city, trading cash for land, there is the trade model. Bringing together everyone for a better tomorrow, conserving the finite resource of water, this is the mass mobilization model. These three models are applied to different situations. Using mass mobilization instead of force to convince everyone not to drive doesn't seem too realistic. Forcing tenants from their residence and throwing them onto the streets is obviously not okay. Even if some degenerates have done this kind of thing before, everyone has seen what happens to them. Using force instead of mass mobilization to conserve water seems a bit preposterous. Are you really going to install a monitor on everyone's tap? These three models are applied where appropriate, completing each other, but our nation especially advocates mass mobilization. Why? To answer this, we better have a look at the problems with force and trade. The problem with force is that force is strong and the response is low. For example, many local governments neglect actual issues with the people's livelihood, instead running a vanity project and generating masses of debt. The problem with the trade model is that only personal interests come into account. With a lack of macro-level guidance, it easily comes off the tracks. The common problem with these two models is that, it seems like they've got nothing to do with us, the masses. As the proverb states, the nation belongs to the people, the power belongs to the people, and Jay Chow belongs to Hannah Chinley-Vaughn. If the people don't participate, how can you flourish? This is when the might of mass mobilization comes into play. Only with an understanding of true needs of the masses can decision-makers make the correct propositions. And more importantly, patiently and emotionally communicate with the masses to convince them, transforming into a conscious action of the masses. No need for gangs, no need for merchants. When a social problem occurs, mobilizing the masses immediately is both timely and effective, realizing self-organization and self-governing of the masses. When the Sichuan earthquake occurred, the aunties of the neighborhood committee self-mobilized and took turns in night watch duty without any need for military or police presence. The masses themselves solved the issue of public security. Additionally, mass prevention and treatment, the Clean Plate campaign, environmental protection, anti-corruption reports, and even the American in his top hat, each of these are typical examples of mass mobilization. The mass mobilization mode of governance puts the mass line into practice, demonstrating the profound foundation that the masses provide to policymakers. This is the result of long-term cultivation and close interaction with the masses. Now, you remember what the mass line is, right? After the revision to the party constitution at the 18th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, the mass line was formulated as, in the work of the party, the mass line is put into practice. Everything is for the masses, relies on the masses, comes from the masses, and goes to the masses, transforming the correct propositions of the party into the conscious actions of the masses. The identity of the masses. You deserve to have it.